Morning, y'all. Welcome to the Positivity Push. Thank you guys for joining us live here on the Positivity Push Facebook page. Is it ready to go?
Ready to go.
Awesome. So we just click it. Can we go ahead and record it? We can go ahead and start recording.
Okay.
So good morning, everyone. My name is Antonio Santoro, host of the Positivity Push. I've got a great guest, Lebone Moses. Lebone Moses is in the studio, y'all. So wake up and win this morning. All right, I need you guys to do me a favor. If for some reason the connection on this is kind of wonky, I need y'all to just type that, hey, bad signal, low signal, something like that. Because there's been some signal issues with the Wi-Fi a little bit for my phone. So if you guys will do me a favor, but it's all going to be good. It's all going to be positive. It's going to be great stuff. Rocco is back here in the wings as well. So Rocco, say hello to the people. Awesome.
Hello. How are all of you? Hope you're well.
Yes. Hope everyone is well. All right. Let me make sure. I'm going to see. All right. So forgive me because I'm going to make sure everything is good and ready to go. All right. Y'all let me know if this signal works because, and this is really, I usually, is the signal good, y'all? Because the signal has been going in and out. So let's try that. All right. So. Alrighty. Good morning to everyone. I'm sharing. So you guys know what to do. Y'all share this broadcast on your Facebook page as well. So feel free to share. Share. All right. We're going to go on. So good morning. So can you bring up that ID that I had up? There was an ID that I had up.
Let's see.
Is it?
Oh, you're talking about this one back here.
Mm-hmm.
What, it got all of this screwed up.
So good morning, Jessica. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Jessica, from the River Church. Thank you for joining us. Yes, that was it, I think. Yeah, I'm going to use this one. Thank you. Alrighty. Yes, we're gonna get ready and go on.
COM 103.5. Thank you for all your support.
So good morning to everyone. If you will, again, share on your Facebook page. Thank you guys again for joining us on the Positivity Push. Waking up and winning. We're going to talk about life strategies. We're going to talk about a wide variety of things. It's going to be good stuff. So I'm excited to have Lebone Moses as my guest this morning. Thank you guys again for joining us. Feel free also to go to thepositivitypush.com. All right, that's the theme song. So let's do this. Good morning, positive people. This is your host of WCOM's The Positivity Push, Antonio Santoro, in the hot seat this morning. Welcome to the show. Sit back, relax, and be positive for the next hour live here on 103.5 FM WCOM and The Positivity Push Facebook page. Get your positivity plug by visiting www.thepositivitypush.com as well as liking the Positivity Push page on Facebook. Join us in the studio with myself and my guest this morning. Be encouraged, inspired, and empowered with The Positivity Push with your host, Antonio Santoro. Have you heard this song? I love this song. All right, y'all. Good morning, good morning. You can do anything. This is Isaiah Templeton, my friend who resides in Charlotte. Good morning, Mario Crawford. Thank you for joining us. This is Lebone Moses, my guest. So he says hello. I need you guys to do me a favor. I know there's not been... let me turn this down a little bit. I want to make sure that the signal is good on this broadcast. So if you will, please just comment and tell me if the signal is okay. I want to make sure that we are good there. So good morning to everybody. Again, you're listening and watching the Positivity Push with Antonio Santoro, my guest, Lebone Moses. So feel free throughout this whole broadcast to share the broadcast, number one. And number two, ask questions, comment, and ask our guest, Lebone Moses, some questions about strategies that she may provide to live that positive life that she's called to, that we're all called to live. She is a phenomenal woman, inside and out, and I'm so grateful to have her. So thank you guys again for joining us. Y'all share on your personal Facebook page. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Mario, for turning on your notifications. So thank you for doing that. All right, Winston is in the house. Thank you, Winston. You know this familiar face.
Hey, Winston.
All right. Say hello. Oh, the sun. All right. The Positivity Push, y'all. Isaiah Templeton. I can do anything. All right, how to do my quick. Yes, we love her. Good morning, Jane Jenkins. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So, I usually don't play Christian music on here. Like, this is the first Christian song that I've actually played, but it's so good for this show. Like, we can, I felt good about this. Good morning, y'all. Share this on your Facebook page. Awesome. So I'm not going to play this whole song. I'm about to fade this out and jump right in. So. All right, y'all, let's jump in. My headphones are... All right. And you can do anything. That was I Can Do Anything by my friend Isaiah Templeton from Charlotte, North Carolina. You're listening to the Positivity Push with your host Antonio Santoro live here on 103.5 WCOM FM. I want to welcome all the listeners this bright and sunny Saturday morning on 103.5 over the airwaves for your dose of positivity this morning. Thank you for joining me. Also the viewers, yeah, that's right, I said the viewers on the Positivity Push Facebook page. So you can tune into the studio just by liking the page and sharing and viewing the broadcast. I'm telling you, you're in for a treat this morning with an incredible guest. I'm about to touch on that here shortly. But while you're at it, visit thepositivitypush.com for more information. If this is your first time tuning into the Positivity Push, welcome to the most positive place, the most hype place here on the planet this morning at this hour, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, located in the corner of Chapel Hill in Carborough, North Carolina. This is your feel-good fix. So wake up and win. This show is really a movement to inspire, encourage, and empower you through various interviews and uplifting music. So thank you again for starting your weekend off out with me, Antonio Santoro. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump in on this thing. The Positivity Push wants to welcome a brilliant mind in everything she does. She is such a powerhouse and has an overcoming story that inspires others to be the boss that they are. She's most known for major business moves in corporate, as well as becoming a founder and CEO of her organization, Chisara Ventures Incorporated. Her success story was not an overnight one. She has used the ups and downs of life to bring her to where she is today. I am so honored to have this society mover and shaker and a positivity pusher in the studio, Lebone Moses. Lebone, say hello to the people.
Hello, everyone.
All right. I'm loving it. I'm loving the energy this morning. We got the sun shining on us, so I'm loving that as well. But I'm so glad you're here. We're going to talk actually a little bit more with Lebone. Is there anything you want to say right off the bat?
Hello and welcome to the Positivity Push. I'm glad to be here. Thank you, Antonio.
Please, it was my pleasure to ask you. Lebone again has just been she's just a light, and I love being.
That's what my name means.
That is it?
Yeah.
All right.
Lebone means a lantern.
Well, there you go. So there you go. So she is a lantern, y'all. She is a light, and she really is owning up to her name. She really is a light, and in any situation, she shows up and shows out and shines. And she's going to bring that shine this morning right after this next song by a dear friend of mine. I actually went to college with her and sang with her in campus choir at Lee University. Her name is Brooke Simpson. She was a finalist on The Voice. She just came out with a brand new single called Perfect. And so sit back, enjoy this song from Brooke Simpson, Perfect.
Watching the time go by.
All right.
That's so funny.
I love that.
Did
No, I
you?
did not. I was like, what?
I said he doesn't know that.
And I
That's
was
so
like,
funny.
lantern light. I love that.
I wasn't even going to talk about that, but good
That's
segue.
perfect. Yeah, that is perfect. So good morning, good morning. Sherry Lay says, good morning, my sister. So proud of you.
Thank
Do you know her? Sherry?
Yes,
Sherry Lay?
thank
All right.
you. Hi, Sherry.
Sherry, thank you for joining us on the Positivity Push. Go like the page. Share this broadcast on your page, if you will. So yeah, that's, her name fits her. You're exactly right. You see, the light is all on us because she's in the studio. Like, you know.
Sherry and I minister together in a community dance ministry.
Oh wow, awesome.
So,
Sherry, thank you for joining us. Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, she just came out with this song, and I love her. I don't know if you watch The Voice.
I have, but
Yeah, not really. Yeah, me either. But when she was on last season, I watched her. She was really good. She's
Nice.
from North Carolina. She's from Eastern North Carolina.
Nice, and
So,
she was
yeah.
finalist.
Mm-hmm.
So that's great.
Yeah,
That's great.
yeah. Yep. All right, so okay. So I'm going to read your bio, and then we're going to jump into the interview.
Sure.
Good morning. Thank you for sharing, Sherry. Good morning, Mom. True, faithful mom, always on every morning. So thank you, Mom, for the support. Lebone says hello. So yeah, I appreciate it again, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Right, y'all. So throughout this whole broadcast, thank you, Mom. Throughout this broadcast, feel free to ask questions, comments throughout the broadcast, and want you guys to be interactive as well. So thank you guys again for joining us. And if you have not done so, y'all know what to do. Share this broadcast. Share it. Are you singing tomorrow, or is the other team? Good. Good. The mic isn't on. No. Why?
I can't tell what it's on.
Oh, I'm talking to the. Yeah, I'm talking. Oh, yeah. I'm talking to Facebook Live. Yeah, they can hear us. Yeah, this is not on. If it was. Yeah. Right. That would be bad. That would be bad. Antonio, you're next to go on The Voice. Well, I don't know about that.
He is.
Gotta pray about that.
Yes.
All right, it's perfect timing. All right, time to get on it. And that was Perfect by Brooke Simpson, a North Carolina native. And she just came out with that song. So y'all go download Perfect on iTunes and go support my friend Brooke Simpson. I'm here with my guest. First of all, you're listening to the Positivity Push live on 103.5 FM WCOM, and I'm here with my guest Lebone Moses. I met Lebone close to about 3 years ago, and I remember seeing her and I was like, gosh, her smile just lights up any room. And she and I have connected through ministry and business and just so many different endeavors. Her mighty presence goes before her, and every letter in the alphabet goes behind her. She's got more letters behind her name than I don't even know what to do with. It's like singing the ABCs after you say her name. So she is so special to me and to many others, and she's full of gifts. So my words can no longer do her justice. So I'm actually going to just read a little bit more about her formally, and then we're going to jump into this interview. Lebone C. Moses is a business executive, strategist, entrepreneur, and angel investor. She spent the past 16 years in corporate America in executive roles with 4 of the world's largest public and private institutions, including the 2 largest public accounting firms in the world, one of the most valuable and influential financial services companies in the world, and one of the most largest private financial institutions. In addition to her corporate career, she runs her own private business, Chisara Ventures Incorporated, where she provides business consulting services to aspiring entrepreneurs, for-profit startup businesses, and nonprofit businesses, including organizational strategies, leadership strategies, capital raising strategies, executive coaching services, and franchise consulting brokerage services. As you can tell, we're going to be talking about strategy today. So sit back and wait for that. I've got a guru here for it. Across her career, she's assessed and advised over 75 companies, ranging from her small startup companies to large multinational Fortune 100 corporations. She's been featured in multiple publications with Black Enterprise Magazine, Entrepreneur Magazine, National Association of Black Accountants, Spectrum Magazine, Woman 2.0, and Pipeline Angels, and has led coaching and thought leadership sessions with investors, corporate business leaders, and entrepreneurs at industry-leading forums. Since 2002, she's been actively serving on nonprofit boards, and she currently serves on the advisory boards for several for-profit startup companies. She enjoys coaching and advising in both her personal and professional life. She's passionate about empowering people with the information and resources to propel them into a better tomorrow. So I want to give again a positive shout out to Lebone Moses for being in the studio this morning. Again, thank you, Lebone, for being here this morning.
Thank you.
I appreciate you. So we have been going through affirmations in April. And these are things, again, we've got to speak into our lives, speak over our lives. And this month we're making those affirmations. What you speak, you will see. And what you are saying is what you're going to actually see and manifest in your life. So I'm asking, what are you saying, viewers and listeners? What are you saying every day? Are you waking up and saying, gosh, I'm so tired, I'm so exhausted, I'm so fatigued? Or are you saying positive vibes only? I'm living a life that is abundant. I'm living a positive life. I'm making a difference today. So start with one affirmation a day and speak it throughout your day, and watch your words create your world. And so I want to ask you, Lebone, what is an affirmation that you want to speak over your life today, or that you continually speak over?
Yeah. So every morning I actually do an I am affirmation.
Okay.
And I change it up every once in a while, but I'll speak things and promises over my life. Mm-hmm. I am incorruptible. Yes. I am a child of God. Possibilities are limitless to me. I am healthy, I am wealthy, I am prosperous. Yes. And I say those things to myself over and over again every day, every morning. And then every once in a while, if I'm in a situation where I'm human, right? So I'm feeling a little nervous about something. Sure. I might add into my affirmation, I am not afraid. Mm-hmm. Right? I am incorruptible. I am ready for anything. Yes. And yes. I speak that every morning. Mm-hmm.
I love it. I love that. And I think, again, it's a practice and a behavior and a strategy that we must apply to our lives daily to make sure that we are living that prosperous and positive and productive life. For myself, I'm going to start off with just, the song that we started the show off with. I can do anything. And that's a great affirmation that I'm going to have today. I can do anything. So that's my devoted affirmation for today. All right, let's jump into today's topic. It's going to be helpful for everyone. I want you guys to, again, share this Facebook Live broadcast. Tell your friends and family to tune in to 103.5 FM right now. It's about life's strategies. With every game, there's a strategy to win. But what if I told you that there are particular strategies that if you mastered those, you can't lose? You are a part of the winner's circle. No matter the circumstance, situation, predicament you're in, there are strategies that can work for you in your life to live the positive life you're called to live. Lebone, my guest, is a gifted strategist in and outside of the boardroom, and I'm just going to ask her and just provide, allow her to provide just provoking principles that allow us to live that positive life. So, Lebone, I know that I've known you for a few years, but I know that your success story was not one overnight, as most are not an overnight success. So tell us a little bit about your story.
Sure. So I was born in Brooklyn, New York. I am the youngest of 3 children in my family, and I'm a first-generation American. So my family is actually from the West Indies, from Guyana, South America. I come from a family that focused on working hard to excel, focused on education, focused on giving back, and focused on respecting and utilizing your village. Yes. And so
utilizing your village.
Your village, meaning your family and your support system is more than just the parents who birthed you or the children who came from you, but it includes your community. It includes aunts, uncles, cousins. It includes your neighbors next door. It includes your teachers. It takes a village to raise a child.
Yes, it does.
Is the African proverb. And the reality is that the success, when I look at my life, the success of my life comes from the village.
I love that.
And that village encompasses more than just me.
Sure.
So that's it. Those are some underlying principles that came with me as I came into this world, and that really showed up as themes throughout my life. So I grew up in Brooklyn. I went to high school in Connecticut, and to be honest with you, my formative years, for majority of my childhood, I experienced bullying. Okay. To the point where in high school, I got to, in around 9th grade, I started self-affirmations, telling myself how beautiful I was. Wow. And I no longer cared what other people thought of me. Sure. Now, the beauty in the outcome from the bullying was that I no longer looked for validation outside of myself. I learned affirmations from my mom. She used to wake us all up at 5 a.m. every morning and do spiritual affirmations and prayers.
Sure.
And so I got that concept from her. But I started to do my own every night and tell myself how beautiful I was. Like I said, going forward, I would say from that high school point onward, self-validation was the core for me. I no longer needed someone else to tell me who Lebone was.
Sure.
And I started to create my own vision of who I believed I was.
Yeah.
I went to college in Massachusetts, Bentley University, and Babson is where I did my master's. And I stayed out in Massachusetts for 16 years between college and my work life. I actually ended up doing my MBA part-time while working about 60 hours a week.
Oh, wow.
But my time spent in Massachusetts was focused on giving back. I spent a lot of time working with community organizations. I spent a lot of time outside of work, volunteering, sitting on community boards, working to improve the environment around me. And again, that goes back to a value that I was brought up with, of giving, constantly giving back. I spent a lot of time working with my church in Boston, constantly giving back. In 2014, and all of this was while my career was moving. My career was constantly moving. I was constantly getting promoted, and my career was soaring like a hockey stick. In 2014, I got an opportunity to move to North Carolina, where I knew no one.
Right.
But it was a great job opportunity to expand my career and to use my skill set in a different way.
Sure.
And I decided to take it. I got here, did not have any nearby family, no church support, and no friends. Basically starting from scratch. But I'm so glad that I did that I decided to take that leap. It was a leap of faith for me, because in the end, I strongly believe that absence creates opportunity, right? So the absence of my business network, the absence of my family village that I'm used to having around me, provided an opportunity for me to explore another side of myself. And when I got to North Carolina, I found out that I actually have a love for acting and for singing that I didn't know I had. When I was in Boston, I did a lot of spiritual, liturgical dancing.
Sure.
So I've been praise dancing for maybe 15 years now, right? But I never explored singing, never explored acting until I got to North Carolina.
Wow. And the door opened when you, because we always say, and I've said this before on the show, that the purpose is, it's often found on the other side of fear. You know, there's that potential fear that was there when you came down to North Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
And so look at the door that was open because of that move.
Yeah, and if you don't push yourself outside of your comfort zone, those doors don't open.
That's it.
You need the absence of what you were used to in order to find opportunity.
I love that. Absence creates opportunity. And so kind of look at the absence, if there's a void or absence in your life, or if there is an anxiety or fear, look at the possibilities or the potential or the light at the end of the tunnel that is on the other side of that. That's what I want to encourage those viewers and listeners. One thing that I'm pulling from just your story is you're going back to values. You're going back to the values of when you were growing up and some of the values that were inherently within you. Do you believe that strategies come from those values? So, for example, you talked about affirmation and how that value of learning self-value and learning that. You talked about the value of community and being an advocate and being a volunteer within the community. You know, that's a value of yours, but there's strategy along with that. Can you correlate both of those and talk about how those are parallel?
Yeah, so actually there's significant strategy in that. So when I look at, you know, my career path, I am my own brand. And what affirmations do is they reset the chip inside of you.
Yeah, they do.
And so it allows you, it puts you back in the driver's seat so you can decide what your brain is now telling you.
Sure.
And in doing that, you're essentially creating your own brand.
Yeah, that's
right?
exactly right.
And so from the affirmations that my mom would have us do at 5 a.m. To the affirmation I taught myself so that I can reverse the effects of bullying,
Sure.
To the affirmations that I do now, it's all in creating my own brand.
Yeah, I love that.
That brand for me, it was important that, and it still is important that brand include giving back, and that a core part of my brand is that I give back, that I reach and help someone else, that I lift someone else as I climb up the ladder, that I'm constantly creating a circle, and it's not just about me. I'm constantly looking outside of myself.
That's it.
We actually all benefit more when we help each other than when we just focus in a singular manner.
That's so
right?
true.
So,
And I think I'm a big believer that success is given to those that serve. And servants or servanthood can have society has put such a negative connotation on that, but really servanthood and serving one another is what we're called to do, and it's where we find our success. You want to be successful? Sow in someone's life, serve someone, go to a soup kitchen, go to a homeless shelter and help. I promise you there's going to be reward for that. So I love that principle, that value, and the strategy that comes with that, because the strategy there is that it's beyond your, it's you're living outside of your means, living outside of your own little bubble, and that in turn creates your brand and your success.
And then here's the other thing.
Yeah.
So we talk about financial strategies all the time, right?
Yes.
Well, my number one financial strategy is to give.
That's it.
Because when you give, more will come to you.
Yeah.
Generous people receive generously.
Yes.
It's a universal principle. It's a biblical principle. You can find it in any religion. I don't care what your background is. The number one principle for financial prosperity is to give.
That's it.
And so, again, when you think about strategies, if you set your mindset to see the value in giving back, and you make giving back a habit, at any stage, I always say to people, they say, well, I've heard people say, well, I can't mentor someone because I'm not there yet. No, you can, because there's something you went through last week that person next to you hasn't been through yet.
That's exactly right.
And so if you come through it, you can give back to it.
That's so true. Right? I love that. If you go through it, you can give back to it. That's really what it is. We go through things for a reason, all right? It's not for ourselves. It's not for to have selfish, and it's not even to hide. Again, we've talked about this before, like we all have a story, we all have scars. It's time to show the scars. Our scars have a story, and those stories can help someone else. And so you're exactly speaking the right thing. And so not even just giving financially, although that financial capacity, and I want you to briefly speak on that, because again, Lebone is my guest here. She is a beast in the boardroom, and can provide strategy upside and downside the other. So I want to ask her. Even in business, have they adopted this principle of giving, and then talk a little bit about the financial strategy there.
Sure. So a lot of businesses have. Okay. If you look at most corporations, they have a social responsibility center, or they have some social responsibility component where they are giving back to their community. Not every business does, but that's a value that I actually look for in businesses that I support. Yeah. And I think that that's something that speaks a lot about the type of business that you're working with. Most large corporations do that. If you look at a lot of billionaires of the world, they're givers. Yes. When you look at what they're giving to society, they're giving to different causes. Individuals often feel like you have to have a lot to give. You even financially, you really don't have a lot to give. You can give proportionate to what you have.
That's it. So don't feel pressured by like, oh, I don't have that. Well,
No.
give what you can. I mean,
Yeah.
that's really, because again, the principle is that you're going to get that increase, or you're going to be given, the generous people receive. That's really what
Right.
happens. So it's not really based on what you can give, it's how you can give. I mean, that's really what it is right there. So I love that. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, and with regards to you mentioned financial capacity.
Sure.
So, I'm not a hoarder.
Yeah.
I don't like to hold on to things. And when you let go, you can make room for more.
Yes.
So that's the first thing I want to say is that that could be physical items. I have a rule that when I purchase certain things that accumulate, like shoes and pocketbooks, I give away.
Yeah.
So, so that could be physical things, or that could be intangibles, or it could be money.
Right.
But if you don't release, there's no space to collect.
That's it right there, y'all. That's a principle that, I mean, that's a mighty principle right there. You can't hold on to something and receive at the same exact time.
Yeah.
So you have to be mindful. What are you holding on to? What are you just like, I can't give up this opportunity? Guess what? Something greater could be on the other side of that. You got to be mindful of the possibility there, right?
Exactly. And so, it's interesting. The word financial capacity. If you look at that, risk management is part of my corporate background, right? So in risk management, when we use that term, we're usually talking about how much loss a company can absorb without disruption.
Okay.
Right? When we use that term related to people, we talk about, how well can you pay your bills? How well can you meet your obligations? But I actually like to apply the corporate definition to people.
Okay.
Because how well can you absorb what happens in your life financially? How prepared are you to absorb a financial challenge, right? And I'm going to go back to the concept of release. So, credit cards, right? Lots of people accumulate credit card debt. I'll be honest, myself, I accumulated significant credit card debt.
Sure.
By paying off that credit card debt, it was almost like literally creating a second stream of income. Or, a fifth for me. But,
Sure.
But another stream of income. Because I saved over $1,800 a month by paying off credit cards.
Yeah.
Right? So you've got to think about this in a bigger light, right? Where can you release so that you can have?
Yeah, that's it. That's
Right?
so good. So good, y'all. I mean, she's dropping wisdom and bars and nuggets all in the same interview. I love this. We are going to come back with Lebone. I don't want to interrupt it, but I've got to, because I got to collect my thoughts. But she's talking about life strategies and things that we can apply into our lives to make sure that we have that good life. And that's what our next song is, Good Life by The Young Escape. Oh my gosh, this has been so good.
Yeah.
Because
First time you've been on the radio?
No, I've been on the radio once before. I was running a conference.
Good morning,
in
y'all.
Boston.
Thank you guys for
But
joining us.
The radio interview was specifically about the conference. I've never had like a
Share this broadcast. Such a good
Never know how many
interview.
people
Such a good interview.
out here. There's just no telling. It's going out everywhere, all over the world. Really. You could have somebody listening to you in Argentina.
That's awesome. Hopefully they get inspired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never know how many people are listening.
Yeah.
Ah, so good.
So,
The release principle thing,
yeah.
confirmation.
Yeah.
That's why I lost my mind for a second, because my spiritual mother was talking about that. There's so I still tutor some students, and I was like, I like this cash every week. I mean, it's $70 cash. Like it's nice, consistent $70. Like, do you realize what could be if you just let go of that 2 hours? Like,
Yeah.
it's a lot on your plate. And I was like, and so that was confirmation for me. So
You gotta release. And so, I mean, when I sat down and I thought about it, I said, wait a minute, Lebone. you could keep this money in your savings account, or you can release all this debt.
Right.
And when I released all that debt, actually, the total amount monthly I save is like $1,975 a month. I just gave myself like a fifth income.
Wow. Yes, thank you, Mom. Thank you, Zerlina. Zerlina says, awesome, Lebone. Yes, this has been so good. She's got more coming up after these songs. Good morning, Sparkle.
Hey, Sparkle. Good morning.
Look at you up early, waking up and winning. I'm loving that. I'm loving it. So, thank you, Sparkle. Y'all share this this broadcast on your Facebook page and get this out there because she's providing some great wisdom this morning. So thank you guys again for joining us on the Positivity Push. Also check out thepositivitypush.com. If you want to be a sponsor of this show, have your business, organization, or event out there, feel free to reach out to me. So again, thank you guys. What were you telling Rocco? You have been on the radio before?
Once before. I used to run a business conference in Boston with the National Association of Black Accountants.
Okay. Awesome.
And it was a regional business conference.
Yeah.
And so I was interviewed specifically about that on radio and TV. The local news station interviewed me, and then the local radio station interviewed me.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
Yeah. So I chaired it for like 3 years. And just before I left Boston.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people were kind of like, why are you leaving?
Right.
You can't leave now. Yeah, I can actually.
Yeah. Wow. Did you, when did you move down here?
2014.
14. Okay,
Yeah.
Gotcha. And you started going to the river soon after, right?
2015.
2015, right?
Yeah.
And it was like in the beginning of the year? Did you start at the beginning of the year?
The beginning of the year. Yeah.
Because I started mid 2000. Yeah, I think we started around the same time actually. Like maybe a few weeks before you did, but
Yeah.
I was like, all right. So good morning, everyone. Thank you guys for joining us, the Positivity Push, with my guest, Lebone Moses, a strategist, business strategist, financial. I mean, you name it, she provides great organizational leadership, and I'm grateful to have her on this morning. Waking up early. Is this early for you? Like when do you?
It is. I mean, I usually wake up around 7 or 8.
Yeah. Throughout the week or just on Saturdays?
On weekends, probably closer to like 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
9.
Yeah. This show has definitely caused me to wake up early. So of course, yes. Alrighty, so you see me writing down.
Yeah,
just like
that's great. That's great.
So we'll talk about the importance of strategy, and then any successful strategies that you want to share, the outcomes of those strategies, and then you can plug your organization.
Okay, great.
So thank you guys for joining us. Such a blessing, both of you. Thank you. Thank you, Christina. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Did you get caught in the traffic, Rocco?
Where?
Chapel Hill had on Franklin. They're having a race this morning, so roads are shut down, all that stuff. So I had to find a alternate route. So yeah.
You notice the problem with the sun coming in, and that's another issue that.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have blinds or something.
Absolutely.
Or
It never happened.
Or at least some curtains.
Well, see, originally, the end game was for the Arts Center to take over the production. I mean, the ownership of the station.
Gotcha.
It never happened because we became a tenant here
Oh,
and have
okay.
given them money every month.
Gotcha.
So if they take over the station, they'll lose that money.
Gotcha.
And then it'll cost them money.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's a whole issue of that.
Yeah.
And they won't put a penny toward anything here. So something as simple as the lights coming in the early morning, you can't see the board.
Yeah, it's tough.
It makes it difficult.
I may have to invest in some curtains or something for the studio. Seriously.
I had stuff that I used to put up there, and they took it down, and
wow.
they threw away. You name it.
Wow. And that's what you are. You are the man, the woman. You are on the Positivity Push with your host, Antonio Santoro, live here on 103.5 FM WCOM. Check out thepositivitypush.com if you want to be a show sponsor. If you want your business, organization, event, service, whatever you want out there on the airwaves, feel free to email me, Antonio at thepositivitypush.com. I want to go ahead and say that this show is sponsored by Alpha Boot Camp, located in Durham, North Carolina. And check out Alpha Boot Camp on Facebook for more information. All right, so I'm here with my guest, Lebone Moses, this morning. She's been providing some incredible wisdom this morning on the Positivity Push to make sure that you live that positive, productive life of yours. And she's a coin strategist, providing those strategies from finances to daily life strategies. And I'm going to have her talk a little bit about the importance of strategy. So, Lebone, tell us what is so important about strategy, and why can't we live the life of just easy breezy and not worrying about strategy all the time?
And you know what? We can live easy breezy, but I find that life is more digestible
Okay.
with strategy, and it's easier to live that easy breezy life when I strategize to make sure it happens.
That's it. That's
'Cause
it.
the reality is that there are most things in life we don't have any control over. And so you can wake up every day pretending to be oblivious to that and have the world control your day.
Yeah.
Or you can have a strategy for your day that keeps some level of control
Sure.
in your hands.
Sure.
You know, going
Is
back...
control bad, by the way?
No, control is not a bad thing.
Okay.
I think sometimes we put labels on things, good and bad. Anything in excess becomes problematic.
I agree. You're exactly
You
right.
you're an awesome communicator, but your communication strength in excess,
Right. It's too much.
exactly.
much,
And
yeah.
so anything in excess is bad, but I wouldn't put a good or bad label on control.
Sure, sure.
It is what you make it.
Yes.
But maintaining a level of control can be helpful. For example, we talked about affirmations. You know, in across my life, I know that in my most difficult situations, affirmations have kept me mentally strong enough to get through.
Yes.
That is a strategy.
That is.
Right? So strategies allow that to happen. Strategies also, I believe, help you overcome limitations.
Okay. Talk about that.
And so a lot of times there are things that we believe we're not capable of doing, or we're not confident that we have the skill set to do. I'll use myself as an example. When I was in college, I went to business school at Bentley
Okay.
University, and Bentley provides this buffet of opportunity to their students, introducing them to companies, introducing them to executives during their tenure at the school.
Sure.
I would go to these Bentley events, and I'd be very nervous about interacting with the executives. And then I joined this organization, National Association of Black Accountants, and the executives in NABA would come to me and say, "Why are you standing in the corner? You know, you've got to talk to people. You've got to do this. You've got to do." They started to give me strategy for
Right.
networking.
Wow.
Then I found myself going to those same Bentley events and walking up to recruiters, walking up to executives, not because I was any better of a networker that day than I was a week earlier, but because they gave me strategies. You know, a simple strategy that I was told very early on in networking: ask people questions about themselves. And I thought, really, why would I do that? They said, because everybody loves to talk about themselves.
That's it.
So if you get nervous in front of a recruiter, start asking the recruiter about their career. You get nervous in front of an executive, start asking them about themselves. As they start to talk about themselves, find something relatable and connect in the conversation.
Yes.
It's a strategy. So now I had a strategy to overcome what I thought was a limitation. And I can tell you that from about my end of freshman, sophomore year in college onward, my network just started to explode. It just became more and more expansive. Starting with a strategy that helped me overcome a limitation that I would have told anyone. I'm not walking in that room and networking with all those people.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So these are strategies that we can actually apply to our lives. What are other strategies that you think are that you actually utilize throughout your daily life? I know that's a powerful one right there. Even not just in networking, but just in communication.
So a few other strategies. Show up.
Okay.
So this sounds simple, right? But I think a lot of times in life we talk ourselves out of showing up. Whether that be because you were late, because you feel inadequate, because you're not sure of what to expect, or you simply dismiss the importance of being there. But successful people will tell you that showing up made the difference. And many times your presence in a room speaks volumes in of itself.
Yes.
And so, particularly if you make a commitment, show up to it. Right. But push yourself to show up, whether it's inside or outside of your comfort zone. If something grabs you, if you see something you're interested in, if it's something you can learn from, show up. Get in the room, gather information. Another thing that ties to that is invest in yourself. I'm constantly trying to learn something new, try something new, read about something new. When I started acting in the end of 2016, I had no professional acting experience on my resume. My first audition was July 2016, and a local theater company took a chance on me. That's what I like to say. They took a chance on me because no professional theater or acting on my resume. First show was in December of that year, and since then, so that's a year and a half, I've had 10 shows and a commercial.
Wow.
Right? I had to take a chance on investing in Lebone.
That's exactly
in order for that to happen. I had to go find the local acting class that I could take. I had to go find the online course that I could take to learn a bit more about the industry. I had to do the voice coaching lessons on the side and, come to church a little early and learn how to hit various notes. I had to do that. I had to invest in myself.
That's awesome.
And that's the same principle I use in business. And it works in every area of your life. That is the best investment you can make. You don't believe me? Warren Buffett said it himself.
Yes, he did.
The best investment you can make is in yourself.
That's right. That's exactly right. Let's finalize. Do you have one more?
One more strategy. I would say break the rules.
Break the rules. Okay.
This is my favorite strategy. When I was, I think I was probably about 14 or 15. I had a project due at school. And I had been rehearsing for this. It was a presentation. I was all set to go, and I woke up, and my voice was gone. And my mom said, "You can't go to school." I said, "Nope, I got to go to school, Mom. We have to make this work. I have this presentation." He said, "If you don't show up, you drop a grade." And she looked at me, and she said, "Lebone, there are rules, and then there are exceptions to the rule." Now, I'm sure when she said that, she basically meant that if you're sick, you can't go to school.
Right.
But what my 14-year-old mind heard was, you don't have to follow every rule. You could decide to be the exception to the rule.
That's it.
That's literally what my 14-year-old mind heard.
See, and that's why she is in this studio right now, because who thinks like that?
And so
I love it.
I have now tested this over and over and over again in my life, because I've realized that many rules are set up to do one of two things, or maybe both.
Okay.
Protect the weak who might not be able to protect themselves.
Sure.
And keep the powerful in power.
Mm-hmm.
If you fall in between, you're not benefiting from the rule.
Right.
And so I tend to assess rules, and if the rules are not, if they're not a rule that will harm, that, if breaking it doesn't harm anyone, then there's a likelihood I'm going to look for a way around.
I love it. It's options. That's really what it is.
It is options. And if you don't do that, you'll never see what's on the other side.
That's it.
So I encourage people. A lot of times we create our own rules.
Yes, we do.
I see people doing things repeatedly, and you say, well, why do you do that? Oh, because I saw those 5 people doing it. But there's nothing that says you have to.
Right.
So I encourage people, when a rule doesn't make sense, if breaking it doesn't harm anyone, break the rule.
Yeah.
Because most successful people that you speak to didn't even know the rule existed when they succeeded.
That's it. Wow. That's good, y'all. That's so good. Lebone right here is my guest. We're about to wrap up this interview, but before we wrap up, I want to ask you to plug yourself. I mean, you've got your own organization and some other things going on. I think you even have an event tonight. We just have a few minutes left, but just share what you got.
Okay, so real quick, my event tonight is the Wish Ball. I'm on the board of the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Eastern North Carolina, and this is our annual fundraiser. All of the proceeds go to children with to grant wishes for children with terminal illnesses. So it's a really beautiful cause. If you're interested in supporting them, you can go to the Make-A-Wish Eastern North Carolina website and donate to them, so that more children with terminal illnesses can have their life wishes come true.
And you can apply the strategy that she provided earlier in the show, which is to give. Be generous, because it's going to come back into your life.
Yes.
So go to Make-A-Wish Eastern
North Carolina.
Yes, check that out.
Website. Also, I do have my own business. Chisara Ventures is a strategic consulting firm. We service startup businesses and nonprofits with strategic business services. We will meet with you, try to understand where you are and what types of strategies are needed. We also provide business coaching to executives, boards, leadership teams, and we also provide franchise consulting. I represent over 300 franchises across the United States.
Wow.
And so if you are interested in owning a franchise, if you're interested in franchising a business, but you never really were sure if that's something you could afford, come talk to me. Reach out to me. You can go to my website at www.chisaraventures.com. You can reach me on Twitter at Chisara Ventures. That's ChisaraVentures. And the same on Facebook, Chisara Ventures Inc. On Facebook, no punctuation on that, just Chisara Ventures Inc. If you are an entrepreneur, a business leader, or an aspiring entrepreneur who wants to own a franchise, hit me up and I'll help.
Yes, and I'll post all that information on the Positivity Push page as well. I'll make sure to link Chisara Ventures on there as well. So I want to thank again my guest, Lebone Moses. She provided such great wisdom in this studio this morning on the Positivity Push. I am grateful for you this morning, Lebone. Thank you for all that you provided this morning. You will be coming back, so I hope that we can work that out later this year. So thank you again for joining us. Any last positive PowerPoints that you want to give?
Just to encourage everyone to really be your own brand. You are CEO of yourself.
Yes.
No matter who you are, where you are in life, And at any point in time, you can decide what that brand looks like.
Yes.
And so make a decision as to what that brand needs to be and walk in it. And don't let anyone tell you who you are.
That's exactly right. I love it. I love it. You're your own brand, so show up and show out. And this is the Positivity Push with Antonio Santoro. I want to thank my guest again, Lebone Moses, for joining us this morning. You're listening to 103.5 FM WCOM, Chapel Hill and Carborough's community radio station. Thank you again to the listeners, online listeners, and viewers of the Positivity Push, even on Facebook. So check us out on Facebook, The Positivity Push. Check out facebook.com/The Positivity Push and ThePositivityPush.com. I will see you next week at the same time, 8 a.m. on Saturday morning. Be great today, and this week upcoming is Rocco with Music Hall from 9 to noon. And please remember to always be positive. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining us this morning. Thank you guys for sharing. Thank you, Lebone. Thank you guys again for everything. Stop. Oh, there we go. So thank you guys so much for joining us. We're going to wrap this up. Feel free to share. Thank you, sir. And I'm going to get out of the way so Rocco can join us. So thank you guys again. All right. Have a great winning weekend and week ahead. Be positive. And thank you again, Lebone.
Thank you.
All right, y'all. See ya.